1618A Warren Place.
Warren Place. Okay, great. Thank you. So again, just as our previous presenter, you have 10 minutes to present and then 10 to 15 for any question and answer. And who is presenting here?
John Moran.
John Moran. Okay, thank you, John. So do you guys have a presentation you want to screen share? Is that?
Yes, I would like to make a few introductory remarks and then go through the zoning variances required for this project. We are joining two lots. One lot has a structure on it that suffered from neglect. Many of the zoning violations that we are seeking relief for, front yard, rear yard, side yard setbacks, exist on the existing building at 18 Warren Place. The proposed project is joining both 16 and 18 Warren Place and demolishing the structures on those two lots and combining the lots. We are cited for Article 50, Section 24 use regulations, and I would suggest that it does not apply to this project because we are in a 3F residential zone district. And that regulation applies to commercial community facility subdivisions. It's not applicable to residential. We do need relief for floor area ratio. The code specifies 0.8. We are seeking relief to have 1.5 floor area ratio. The front lot, the code specifies 10 feet. However, the existing building alignment on the side of Warren Place is 4.5. We are at 1. The side yard requires 10. We are at 3 feet. And the rear yard requires 30, and we are proposing 22.7. Given the existing conditions, we think this is a proper use of the land, and what we are proposing is to erect a new 4-unit building. A part of the reason and motivation of the owners, the Cotterell family, is that they are part of the fabric of the community. They have both an emotional and financial stakehold in the community. They own adjoining property, and it's their desire to create these 4 units to be occupied in part by 2 of their sons and a daughter who is away at school, and hopefully she will return to the community and reside there. I would like to turn over the presentation of the actual design to Bond Worthington, who will outline the project. And the owner is suffering from laryngitis. I hope she will be available to share a few words about the project and the family. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, Desi, can you mute yourself or? Thank you.
Oh, I'm so.
Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm going to elaborate a little. I'll just give you a quick walkthrough on the plans. I know we don't have a ton of time. As John mentioned, this is a 4-unit residential sort of townhouse style building. It's at the end of Warren Place, where Warren Place meets Pavir Place. It's a 3-story building that we're proposing, similar in scale to the properties across the street, which are 23, 21, and 19 Warren Place. Those are a 3-story mansard. So we're aiming for a structure that is similar to the other buildings on the street. This is the zoning chart. John just walked you through what the variances are we're seeking for the distance to the property line and the overall square footage. I'm going to get into the plans just so you can better see what we have here. This is the existing survey, which shows the current home on the lot and the adjacent lot with the single-story garage. And here's the proposed. Again, this is Warren Place, and here's Pavir. And we're proposing, in addition to the building, we're proposing that each unit has their own rear space in the yard for outdoor space and to use outside of the building. Okay. This is the ground floor plan. Each unit will have parking space, which is required by zoning. Each unit, the layout, as you see as we go up through the building, you'll see that there are 3 units that are more or less identical and mirror of each other, and then 1 unique unit on the end due to the private way and the angle of the lot. In the back, we have a family room for each unit, plus the outdoor space and the terrace I just mentioned, as well as some egress here. We will have a 1-foot setback on the front of the property to the sidewalk. The front doors for the house, for each house, will face the street, as will the entry for the vehicles. And then we'll have 3 feet down the side of the property before we hit the property line and the private way, a buffer there. Okay, moving up in the structure, this is the 2nd floor above that family room in the front parking area. This is the real living space of each unit, kitchen, dining, and bedrooms in the back. These, as I mentioned, these 3 units are all identical. They each are 3-bedroom and 3-bath. And then this unit on the end is the unique one, and this is a 2-bedroom and a 1.5 bath. We've tried to put bays on the front, similar to other residential buildings. We're using residential materials. We want this to really fit the neighborhood and the fabric here. Moving up, this is the 3rd floor. This has two more bedrooms and 2 baths, as well as a private balcony. And then the upper floor of the building doesn't really have, the 4th floor doesn't really have a story, but it has a roof hatch and a private balcony or patio deck for each unit. Let's look now at the exterior. Okay, this is similar to the view we saw at the front of the drawing set. This is what faces the street. You see each front door. You see each unit has its own bay, and they all have a little bit of rhythm and relate to each other. This side view is the private way down Pavir. You can see the private balcony or patio space in the back. And again, we're looking for clapboards and corner boards and really residential detailing. And then I'll finish up. I know we don't have a lot of time. I'll finish up with some views to try and orient you to the project. This is from the end of Warren Place, looking down the street. 19, 21, and 23 are here. You can see just a glimpse of our proposed structure, and then getting a little closer, you can see this 3-story. The 3 stories here. This is 2.5, and here's our proposed 3 stories. And then as you sort of round the corner, going down the private way and looking back down Warren Place, and then a view further down the private way, looking back at the building. Building steps back slightly. We have the yard space and some balconies. That's the extent of what I was hoping to present, and I think that should give a decent overview of the project.
Sandra, are you able to join us and say a few words?
Sure. I hope folks can hear me. Sorry for the laryngitis. I'm Sandra Cotterell, and I'm the owner of the property with my husband, Ian. We have lived in Roxbury for over 55 years and raised our children who are now young professionals in the city. And as we all know, affordable housing and opportunities for our young people who are young professionals to stay in the neighborhood has gotten to be challenging. And so this project is an opportunity to provide our children who are young professionals an opportunity for home ownership in a neighborhood, in a community in which they've lived all their lives. And so we're excited to provide this beautiful new housing development, not only for the community, but also for them so that they can have affordable housing and live in the community.
That would be we're open for any questions or comments.
I apologize. I don't know if I introduced myself. I'm Bond Worthington. I'm the architect.
Well, I guess I have a question, because you had mentioned that you tried to sort of, I guess, have the new structures have similar architecture to the surrounding sort of properties. Are those, do you have images of that?
Yes, I can respond to that. We're trying to propose residential materials, and there's a variation of a bay window. Let me share my screen again and we can just jump back into it. For example, we have these vertical bays that will stick out from the building, which it's a variation of a very traditional bay that you would see on a building like this. So while it's not an identical copy, it has a little bit of a similar rhythm, and we're hoping to use some similar materials so that it still feels like a house.
Got it. Okay.
I think also we were trying to be consistent with the massing of the buildings, to be consistent with the size of existing buildings on the street.
That's correct.
I know that the private way is sort of like so because I walk that way to when I go home. It lacks attention, and so can you speak to how this is really gonna sort of address some of the lack of lighting? I know there's those spare parking spaces across, at the end of the top of that private way. But I mean, how would you describe the benefit to that immediate community?
Sure. So we haven't gotten too deep into the exterior design and landscape design, but now we have where the existing building has a fence and sort of turns its back on that private way. Now we have a 3-foot buffer that gives us an opportunity to look at some landscaping and certainly we would have to look at what exterior lighting, potentially anything we did we'd want to make sure that it was fully shielded and not shining on adjacent properties, etc.
Thank you. Jose, you have your hand up, so go ahead.
Yeah, my comment was I was happy to see the garage, but probably doesn't really matter because it's a private way. It's not a main street. Usually people don't use the garage, then they end up you cannot park in front of the garage because you got a ticket. Then you end up taking more space on the street. But because it's a private, it's a dead end, I'm assuming. So I think it's okay. It doesn't take a lot of space from the community. I think but I'm glad that they have parking. That's a problem. I hope that they end up using them.
Thank you.
Sandra, so are you going to be living there as well with your children? Is that the plan?
No, I don't think they want me living with them. No, both of my sons will each have a unit. Both of them are both into the real estate business, and my daughter is in healthcare. And so she's a nurse and will be living there. So they will have each will have their own unit.
So is the plan for the fourth unit to be rented out? Is that?
It will probably be rented and they will own it equally. So this is their ownership. So if it is rented, they will equally share on the rental to help them.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is there any plans to make such rental affordable, given the community and the challenges with affordability?
Well, that's why we're doing this for them, to provide affordable housing.
Anybody else? Jose, do you have another question? Your hand's still up, so I just left it up. So can you, I think you already shared the refusal letter with the various variances, right? You sent that to Renee. And so can you just again reiterate your ask of the committee and DSNI?
Again, thank you for the opportunity to make a presentation, and we do seek your support. There are dimensional variations. It's FAR, floor area ratio. The front yard with the modality is basically 4.5. We're a foot setback, suggesting that not a major, but rather a minor dimensional variation. The side yard is 3 feet and the rear yard is 22.7 feet.
Thank you. So if there's no other questions, we'll wrap this presentation up, and again, we'll get back to the presenters after our meeting. Okay,
Thank you for the opportunity.
sure. Thank you for.
Thank you.
I guess we have the final presentation for tonight.